if you're having problems sticking with a workout program, I promise this will be different than anything else you've ever tried. Hey guys, I'm Mark McKillier with Live Anabolic, and today I want to talk to you about why it's so hard to stick with a workout plan. And trust me, I'm an expert at that, right? So there's lots of reasons. I'm just going to kind of just go through the list real quick, and then I'm going to go back and we'll cover each of the reasons. And I want you guys to listen carefully because not every reason is going to apply to you, obviously, but I bet several of these are really going to hit home, right? So first of all, why is it so hard to stick with a workout plan? Well, number one, the plan is just too hard. Number two, it's too easy. Number three, it's boring. Number four, you're just not seeing results, so you just give up. Number five, it might be too complicated, or it just requires too much of equipment, to do at home. Number six, it might be a plan that requires so much equipment that you have to go to a gym. You have to have a gym membership, and you just don't want to do that. You want to work out at home. Number seven, sometimes it might be because there's just not a support group or a workout buddy or any encouragement. You just feel like you're doing this all alone by yourself, and it just gets discouraging. And then finally, the eighth reason that I came up with was there's just not really a nutrition plan or any guidance as far as nutrition or meal plans are concerned that go along with the workout program. So there's a lot, right? I mean, I came up with 8 big kind of categories of reasons why it's so hard to stick to a plan. And I want to explain the fact that I know all that, all right? I've been doing it a long time. I'm 61 years old, all right? And because I know all that, I took that into account when I created Fit After 50. And if you haven't heard already, that's a workout program that I created about 5 years ago now. It's an at-home plan. You do it at home, only requires dumbbells and resistance bands. That's it. I mean, very minimal equipment, guys. And so when I designed the plan, I took all those 8 things that I just briefly discussed. I took all those into account, and I came up with a 3-phase, 3-month-long workout system. And I really spent a lot of time designing it and then going back and tweaking it before we released it to make sure it wasn't too hard, it wasn't too easy, it wasn't boring, it kept your interest, you could see results, things started to happen pretty quickly. And then of course, we also threw in a bunch of nutritional information with the workout program. Just not workouts themselves, but nutrition is so important. If you're not doing your nutrition right, your workout plan is going to fail, no matter how hard you do it. You've probably heard the old saying, you cannot out-train a bad diet. Well, that's true, and that's why we give you nutritional information with my Fit After 50 program. All right, so guys, I'm not going to go through in length all 8 of those reasons that I just mentioned, because you would fall asleep listening to me talk for the next hour and a half, okay? So you can thank me for not doing that. But I'm going to just briefly touch on several of the topics. So first of all, too hard, too easy, too boring. Let's kind of lump those together. Man, I get it. And that's why I included, I think it's about 80 or 90 different exercises in Fit After 50. And those exercises hit every different muscle group in your body. And the reason I included so many different ones, well, there's several reasons, was to keep it from being too boring. You do the same exercise over and over and over for your chest. First of all, it gets boring. Secondly, it's not as effective as if you do lots of different exercises for your chest. Secondly, I realized that most of the men who start Fit After 50 are going to be really out of shape. And I don't mean like 15 pounds over shape. and haven't worked out in a year. I'm talking, I think the majority of our customers that do Fit After 50 are anywhere from 30 to 50 pounds overweight and have not exercised at all in at least 10 years. I think that's average. Plenty of guys that haven't exercised in 20 years start Fit After 50. So anyway, if you even haven't exercised in, say, 2 or 3 years, which doesn't sound like long, that's almost like starting as a total beginner, because you lose your fitness super fast. And definitely, if you haven't done anything for 2 or 3 years, you're basically starting as a beginner. So I made sure that the exercises weren't too hard for total beginners, and I have you work your way up through phase 1, 2, and 3. It gets progressively more difficult. But I also completely and radically changed the way you do your workouts in each of the 3 phases. So for you guys that have already done my program, you know that phase 1 is done really differently than phase 3, even though some of the exercises overlap. Okay. And then also, you guys that have already done it, you know it's not too easy, right? It's very easy to change my plan and modify it just a tiny bit, all right, to make it just difficult enough for your fitness level, all right? You're not changing the exercises, all right? All you're doing is adjusting the amount of weight or resistance bands you use on every exercise. And I tell you how to do it in my workout program. I specifically tell you how to pick the correct weight or resistance band for your fitness level for that particular phase that you're doing, okay? So I take care of the too hard, too easy, and boring right up front. Now let's talk about the 5th and 6th things, and that was too complicated, needs too much equipment, all right, and or requires a gym membership, number 6. So I know a lot of guys just don't have the time to go to the gym. It's too far away. You might live in a big city with traffic, and so just fighting traffic to and from the gym just ain't worth it to you. It's just too much time. So you want to work out from home. Especially a lot of older guys just enjoy working out at home. And so I take care of that. No gym membership required for Fit After 50. Big thumbs up. And then the other one is, I made sure to design the program so that you only need dumbbells and resistance bands. Now, it is nice to have a bench. You don't have to have one. I show you how to do some of the exercises without the bench, but it's kind of nice to include that if possible. But guys, just some simple dumbbells and resistance bands. Now, dumbbells can get kind of expensive depending on how many you're getting and what kind and everything, but the resistance bands are about 20 bucks. So you don't have to spend hardly any money on that. The dumbbells, the good news is you don't need a lot of them at the beginning because you're not strong enough. You don't need lots of different weights, all right? But as you get stronger and stronger and get in better shape, yeah, you're going to probably need to buy some heavier pairs of dumbbells to make the exercises difficult enough so that you're pushing yourself hard enough that you see progress, that you see muscle growth, all right? But good news, bad news. Yeah, you got to spend a little more money buying some more dumbbells. But the good news is, man, that's a good problem to have. You're having to spend money on more dumbbells because you're actually seeing progress. I talk to guys, they email me, they post on our Facebook group on a regular basis. Guys that could not do one push-up at the beginning of Fit After 50. 6 months later, they're doing 30, 35 nonstop push-ups without stopping or resting. That's amazing. That's incredible. So I took care of those 2 issues just by making sure that the exercises that I came up with don't require an unnecessary amount of really expensive equipment. So now let's briefly talk about number 7. And that was there's no support group or encouragement. You just feel like you're just doing this by yourself. Nobody cares. You know, I get it. That's why we created a free resource for you. It's our Facebook group. I'm the moderator. I'm the administrator. I'm in there almost every day answering everybody's questions. We have, I think, 23,000 men now, and it's just growing. It's growing every day, every week. And that is our support group. That's where you get a lot of encouragement. There are guys in there posting super cool questions. There's guys posting funny memes. There's a lot of funny guys in there. There's people posting information about nutrition. They take pictures of their meals that they're creating, some really creative, super healthy ideas to eat in that group. And I don't care if you don't like Facebook. I was talking to a guy at the gym, recognized me. He's about 70 years old. He said, I love your YouTube channel, Mark, and I really appreciate everything you do there. It's really motivated him to get back. He's lost a bunch of weight and everything. And I said, well, you need to join our Facebook. Oh, no, I'm not going to do Facebook. I don't like that social media stuff. I don't like Mark Zuckerberg. Well, I told him, screw it. I don't like Zuckerberg either. And I'm not a big fan of Facebook, but this is a fantastic group and it's free, So you don't have to use your real name when you create an account. You don't have to post any pictures of yourself. Most guys actually do, even though they start off maybe anonymous or not posting pictures. Eventually they like to kind of join in because they see so many other guys doing it. So that's your support group. All right. And that's where you get your encouragement from to keep pushing yourself and seeing progress, because you're seeing other men from all over the world talking about their progress in my Fit After 50 system. And they're also asking questions about it. And I'm answering, and of course everybody else is answering too. So super cool group, and it's a freebie that we give you. All right, and then the final one, the eighth one, was there's no nutrition plan or kind of nutritional guidance, and that's why it's kind of hard to stick with a workout program. And so, I get it, and so that's why we included that. So there's basically two versions of Fit After 50. There's the core program, just the basic minimal amount. It's the least expensive. It comes with a fair amount of nutritional information, but it's mostly high level stuff. It's not individual meal plans, but we tell you foods to avoid, foods to eat. We talk about intermittent fasting and how to do that and why it's beneficial. We talk about carb cycling. So it's pretty high level nutritional information, and it's fantastic. But if you buy the Fit After 50 complete bundle, you get even more nutritional information. You get all that, plus you get some meal plans, plus the big kicker that I really recommend, guys, is it comes with a huge video library of me doing every single exercise in my program. Now, the base core program, the cheap one, it comes with photographs of me doing every exercise in the program. So it might be a sequence of 3 or 4 pictures of me doing a curl, all right? But it's not a video, right? So the more expensive, it's an extra, I don't know, $40, something like that. The complete bundle comes with 120 videos, and they're all short. They're usually 60 to 90 seconds. So it's me doing the exercise and explaining to you guys, to the camera, tips and tricks, things you should think about while you're doing it, things to avoid. I'm talking about the form and things like that. So I think for an extra 40, 50 bucks, I think it's only 40 extra bucks actually. So it's well worth all the extra stuff that comes in the complete bundle. All right, so hopefully I condensed everything down pretty neatly and concisely so that you guys didn't fall asleep while you were listening to me explain why my program is so great. So I promise I know what I was doing when I designed this program. I'm a certified trainer. I've been doing it for decades. Even if I wasn't training individual people, I was training myself and buddies, non-professionally. And I'm a research guru. I'm just constantly, on the internet looking and following other really top trainers, guys with PhDs in physiology who are talking about studies and everything. I just kind of like research. And so, I kind of put all of that into my Fit After 50 program. And that's why I think it's become the best-selling workout program in the entire world for men over 50. I mean, we've sold well over 100,000 copies of Fit After 50 to pretty much every English-speaking country you can think of. Now, I realize a lot of our audience and clients are in North America, United States, Canada, but still, Europe, Australia, New Zealand. I mean, we got people over in Asia and India that are buying my program, So it really is cool. I promise you guys it works, and it's really easy to stick with it. And if you join our Facebook group, you'll see tons of men in the group who've been doing my workout program, even though it's only 3 months long, 3 phases. They've been doing it for 1, 2, 3 years. They repeat it, but they take notes when they print out their workout program each time, and they try to beat their former self. They know how much weight they were using on those exercises the previous time through, and then they try to use more weight. All right. They try to beat their times. They time themselves in certain phases. Things are based on time. So they just keep repeating, and they're just basically building more muscle and losing more fat, getting in better shape with each cycle. And then on top of that, for guys who want to kind of take it up a notch a little bit, I actually did create a phase 4, a fourth, and it's a separate product that you buy. And it's the same basic tenet as Fit After 50, but I include or throw in a bunch of much more advanced techniques like drop sets and supersets and rest pause sets. So even though a lot of the exercises are the same, I really have you do them differently. And phase 4 is really just focused on muscle building. Just building muscle. There's no cardio. It's not really designed to help you burn fat. So a lot of guys who just want to focus on the fat burning just keep repeating Fit After 50, the first 3 phases. Some guys get to the point where they don't really want to lose any more weight. They just want to build muscle. And then they try my phase 4. And then, of course, there's a whole nother program I created with a young Marine buddy of mine. He's 30 years younger, and he's in the Marines. He's an officer in the Marines. And it's called Warrior Strong. And it's a blast. And it's actually 2 workout programs in one. There's an outside version, which requires battle ropes and sandbags and metal pipes and all this cool stuff. And it's really cool. And then my Marine buddy and I filmed it at an Army base. So we got tanks and helicopters and jets in the background, and it's a blast. But if you don't want to do it outside, if you don't have that area outside, if the weather's not good, I also created an indoor version where I replicate every single outdoor exercise with an indoor exercise that mimics the movements, and it only requires dumbbells for the indoor version. And it's killer, and it's all video based. So you're actually seeing me do the indoor version, and you're seeing myself and my Marine buddy doing the outdoor version simultaneously on the screen. It's pretty cool. So anyway, guys, please do me a favor. Try Fit After 50, because if you're having problems sticking with a workout program, I promise this will be different than anything else you've ever tried. And the reason I know that is because people tell me that all the time. And then finally, guys, none of these workout plans are going to work unless you stick with it and never give up on yourself.